Years after devastating flooding hit Spencer, Iowa, homeowners affected by the disaster are finally seeing momentum and movement in the city's housing buyback program. Now, the project is now nearing final federal approval after months of delays. Rather than rebuilding in areas prone to flooding, the federally funded program allows qualifying homeowners to sell their properties to the city at pre-flood market value and relocate to safer areas. The initiative is funded primarily through FEMA disaster mitigation programs and administered through the state of Iowa. Local officials coordinate with those affected residents.
FEMA is back after their furlough. We just received an email yesterday, so we're excited about that. We've received confirmation of the preliminary acceptance of the properties, and so we're in the final approval phase. We anticipate that to be 3 to 4 weeks, hopefully, and then we'll be able to notify the property owners, and then we can move that process forward.
Once the final determination is received, city leaders hope the buyouts can happen in 60 to 90 days. So this comes as a relief to so many homeowners who have been forced to pay their mortgage, insurance, and all necessary expenses on those homes that they haven't lived in since June of 2024.
We're trying to move the process as fast as possible. Once FEMA approves that, then there's a process through the state of Iowa, so we'll have a normal real estate sale. So they'll need to bring their abstracts current. We'll give them a payoff from the city, and then all of their debts will be serviced. We'll net out, it'll be a normal sale. The city will then retain ownership of those properties.
And once the homes are acquired by the city, they will be torn down. The city will then develop a maintenance plan for non-residential use of the property.